Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a video that's a little bit different than I usually do. Last week I posted a picture of my kids on blanket time and wow, I had a really big response to that picture. A lot of people wanted to know what blanket time was, why I did it, how I did it, and I thought it was something very worth mentioning because this alone has kept my sanity, and that is no lie. I read the books BabyWise and I follow them, and in the book it recommends blanket time. Now when I first start, I lay a blanket down where I want them. When I give them toys, I choose toys specific for that kid that I know that they're not going to be bored. It's really good for their attention spans because you only give them, you know, just a handful of toys, not a lot. When you first begin, you're gonna feel frustrated. You're going to feel like it's a waste of your time, but if you stay consistent with it, then it will get better, and it really will. You'll see a difference in the way your kids behave. When you're first teaching them, you can't do anything else. All you're doing is teaching them, and I'll just sit right here by the blanket and I'll watch them play. I won't play with them. I won't show them what to play with. I just watch them. Even if they sit there and scream, that's literally what they do most of the time, is just sit there and scream. They will get the hang of it. There are many different reasons that you could benefit from blanket time, but I'll tell you the reasons why I started doing it. Olivia was almost 2, so I started it when she was a little bit older, but I could not get her to sit for the life of me. We would go to the doctor's office and she would be all over the place. I would ask her to sit on a chair and she just wouldn't do it. It was as if I wasn't even there asking her to do it. When we were at church, she would not sit on the bench, and I would pack a whole bag of toys and she'd go through that entire bag and be done with it in 20 minutes, 15, 10 minutes. It was terrible, and I just thought, I have got to get a grip on this. Are all little kids this way? And the answer to that is yes, but the trick is teaching them how you want them to behave. Kids will learn anything if you just teach them and if you stay consistent with it. That's the biggest thing with this. In the beginning with blanket time, you are going to feel like it's a disaster. And it is. It's really hard, and I have a headache every time I start, but if you stick with it, you will be able to tell your child to sit on a blanket, play with a few toys, and I leave my kids there for up to an hour. And the reason that I chose an hour is because that's how long sacrament is. That's how long a lot of meetings that we go to are. And so you start with about 10 to 15 minutes and you work your way up, and it depends on their age as well. I do not like to set a timer because something that this teaches is that blanket time starts when mom says and blanket time ends when mom says. If they're being really, really good, I'm not gonna take them off the blanket. They can stay and do what they're doing, even if it's past the time that the timer says. Or if blanket time needs to end a little bit early because they are just not having it that day, because sometimes that's gonna be the case, then you can say, okay, mommy says blanket time is over, and you can let your little one run off the blanket, because what you really don't want to do is for the child to say, I'm done doing this, and get off the blanket. That doesn't teach him to be obedient. That doesn't teach him to listen to what you're saying. So you really got to be strict with it. Another place that this really helps is when I'm trying to cook dinner and I just need them out of my hair, but I don't want them running around the house making a huge mess. I need them right there. And plus, I like them seeing what mom's doing. When I'm cleaning and I'm going room to room, I don't put a blanket out, but I'll set them on the couch and I'll say, okay, I'm gonna clean the family room. You know, put music on, play, have fun, but you're staying on that couch while I clean the family room. I really do feel like this teaches strict obedience. It helps with their attention span. Oh, no, 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 look, you gotta stay on the blanket. Look, you gotta stay on your blanket. So just like that, they are going to crawl off the blanket. They're going to run off the blanket. And at first, all I do, I don't say much because I don't want to really communicate with them when they're on blanket time. And the reason is because sometimes I just need to read. Sometimes I'm making phone calls. Sometimes I'm doing bills. And so I do not want to entertain them. And that's another thing that this does, is teaches them to self-entertain. And so when they crawl off the blanket, I just pick them up, put them back on the blanket. I usually start around 18 months. They usually get it pretty well by then. Olivia doesn't necessarily stay on a blanket for quiet time or blanket time anymore because she is older and she doesn't really need to do that. When I started teaching Boston how to stay on a blanket, I put Olivia on one. That way he saw what she was doing, he saw what Cody was doing, and he kind of got the idea. But a lot of time I'll just put her up at the table, have her do her homework, have her color, and just she knows to stay there until I tell her that it's time to get up. Sometimes if I feel like the child needs it, or if I really need them to stay on the blanket just a little bit longer, I will give them treats. I don't want Boston to hear me. He's like, what'd you say? Sometimes I will give them snacks, so that will keep their attention, but I try to teach them to play without snacks. I have taken the kids to doctor appointments with me, and I will tell them, okay, we're gonna have blanket time, but I put them in the chairs at the doctor's office, and every time, I don't think I've gone to the doctors without a nurse or the doctor saying, wow, I can't believe your kids just sit there. First of all, I threaten them before the doctor gets in there. You will sit here, you will be quiet, and you will not get off of these chairs. And if they do, I wait till we get home, and then when we get home, I really let them know that that was not okay to get off your chair, and we're gonna practice, and we're going to learn to sit still when we go to the doctor's office or when we go to wherever, you know. But I don't make a scene where we're at, but I do let them know I am not happy with you, and we are gonna talk about this when we get home. Because you're in public, you don't want to embarrass your child, plus the child's probably not even paying attention because they're looking and doing whatever they're doing. Is he staying on his blanket? Okay, I just had to make sure. This has also been a really good thing for when I just had one child, because now that I have a couple of kids, when I'm in the shower, I can put them in a bedroom and have them play together, or put them in front of the TV. And Olivia's old enough that if there's something wrong, she can come and get me. But when it was just Olivia, I couldn't shower. She was into everything, and I couldn't let her run through the house, so she'd be in the bathroom while I was trying to get ready, and it was absolute chaos. So what I would do is I would put the towel mat on the floor in the bathroom, because it was just big enough, give her like one thing, because I'm only going to be in there for 15-20 minutes, maybe 30. And I would tell her to stay there. This was after I taught her, and it made my shower time so much better. It was so much better and more like I felt like I could do stuff. My mind wasn't complete chaos 24/7 during the day. Something that you're also going to want to keep in mind, if your child is hungry, if your child needs a nap, they're not going to do good at blanket time. You have to kind of plan it in your day. It's right before lunchtime, they're probably not gonna do well. So make sure that they're fed, make sure that their diapers are changed, or they've gone to the bathroom. That way they don't use the excuse, I need to go to the bathroom, I need to get off the blanket. So make sure that they're ready for it, and they will do much better. You will be more successful if you make sure that it's good timing for them as well. Normally I don't have their blankets so close, but I just wanted them in the frame. But usually I try to keep them separate. That way they don't fight with each other. They don't want each other's toys. They're not trying to play with each other. It just keeps them separate, and it just is better, at least for me, that way. So that is what blanket time is. That's what, why, and how I do it. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you start doing blanket time and you like it, make sure to tag me in pictures. You can do it on Instagram or Twitter. I've had a few people do it already, and I think it is really fun. I think it's really great. To each their own. Good luck, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Wait for the garbage truck to pass. It was as if I hadn't even lost my train of thought. He's so cute. You can't see Cody, but he's shooting his army men right now.